Yes, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Kosi's Arsenal podcast, and welcome back to Morning Arsenal Show, where we speak about Arsenal in the morning, especially after that brilliant win against Burnley at the turf from 1-0. 6 things we learned. That video is already out, so if you would love to have a watch, make sure you do check out the channel. I did break down 6 things. I did break down that game into 6 most important things. But of course, like I said, you can't break down a full match in only 6 things. But I tried to, and that is all we do on this channel: talk Arsenal, talk football, and talk the Premier League. Of course, I will dive into, and I'm going to really dive into the signings that Arsenal made and how important, how integral they have been to Mikel Arteta's rescue, redemption, and a couple of other things. But again, we need to look at the brighter side. Arsenal still need to get in those marquee signings, those big signings, because they will help us a lot at the end of the day. My name is Kosi. Welcome back to the channel. Consider subscribing to the channel. Consider smashing a like on the video as well, and let's get into it. So it was a very bad start for Arsenal, and we have got to, we've got to agree to that. It was a very, very bad start. 3 games without a win, and then breaking off into the first international break. That was the worst start Arsenal had ever seen. I think in 100 years, in 10 decades, that was the worst start Arsenal had ever seen since. But we have tried to get back. We have managed to get back onto our feet. 2 wins back to back. Of course, it is 1-0, and we will talk about the lack of goals, the lack of chances. But beating Norwich at home 1-0, that was a lifeline. A game where you thought Arsenal just needed to come back. A game where you thought Arsenal just needed to, to get anything. As long as it was 3 points, as long as it wasn't a loss, we needed to score our first goal. We needed to get our first point, in the Premier League. Everything we got in that game was inaugural. And in the Burnley game, it was all about, joining the dots and making the pattern stick. And I think both of them, in both games, Arsenal performed absolutely very, very well. So one of the reasons as to why we have performed well in the last 2 games is our new signing. And we've got to agree to this. The new signings that we have made in the summer, despite the fact that many of us were not happy with them, especially because we preferred the other alternatives that were there in the market. I think I would have taken Joaquin Correa over Martin Odegaard. I think I don't know if Joaquin Correa could have scored that free kick against Burnley. I'm not sure. I've not seen him take so many free kicks, but I would still take Joaquin Correa over Martin Odegaard. Aaron Ramsdale, we all know the circus. We all know the fight that that existed in Arsenal fans, against the signature of Aaron Ramsdale. First, the pricing that was a little bit wayward, and of course, the fact that he had been relegated twice with Bournemouth and Sheffield United made him really a bad goalkeeper in the eyes of many Arsenal fans, at least not including me. So let's first look at the impact of the new signings, the young players that actually came in as new signings, because I think it is all about Arsenal's new signings. Let us start with Aaron Ramsdale. Ramsdale has provided an upgrade, a massive upgrade to the Arsenal side. I think Leno must be disappointed, but not disappointed in Mikel or not disappointed in Edu, because they brought in a new goalkeeper, but he must be disappointed in himself, because the fact that a new goalkeeper comes in and displaces you and just takes over your position, that really means you were not good enough. That means there was something that was not right and you are not dealing with it. So Ramsdale, for me, courtesy of Ramsdale, Arsenal have not conceded a goal in the Premier League. Leno has been in goal 3 times this season and conceded 9 times. Ramsdale has been in goal for 180 minutes. Those are 2 games, and actually not conceded a goal. So Leno, of course, you could give him the advantage that he was playing against the likes of Chelsea, City, and Brentford, who I think are still stronger sides than Burnley and Norwich combined. But at the end of the day, as a goalkeeper, if someone, if your backup goalkeeper comes in, keeps a clean sheet, make sure that his displays and performances are good enough, you've got to check your form as well. So it's gonna be now a very tight call. Does Leno come back in goal? Which I think would be a betrayal to Aaron Ramsdale, who has done everything possible to make sure that he becomes Arsenal's number one. What do you think? Should Leno continue being the backup and Ramsdale being the first choice goalkeeper? Because we have nothing to lose. If Leno decides to go in the summer, you just cash in on him, let him go to Inter Milan or back to Germany, wherever he wants to go, and then keep Aaron Ramsdale as number one and probably getting a good backup goalkeeper. That would actually make a lot of sense for me. Right. So I think goalkeeping wise, Mikel Arteta's signing, Aaron Ramsdale has actually done it. The other one is Takehiro Tomiyasu at right back. I also think Arsenal have got that massive upgrade. Actually, it's not a massive upgrade, it is a super massive upgrade. And the fact that Arsenal have just managed to get a right back who's decent enough not to let in crosses, a right back that can take a throw in. I think Hector Bellerin should be cursing and blessing himself, not blessing himself, but blaming himself for the fact that he actually failed to deliver. Because for me, in this Arsenal side, all you need to do is be good enough. Tomiyasu, that is what he brings on the table. He's just good enough. He doesn't actually contribute so much going forward. The crosses do not actually come in like any other right back. But you can see that he provides that kind of security at right back, and for me that's one of the things I wanted. I wanted security at right back. I wanted a better right back, and I think Tomiyasu, although not the best right back there was in the market, we could have done better than that. The likes of Jeremy Doku, the likes of Zelik Selik were available, but we went for Takehiro Tomiyasu. Fits very well into the project of what we want to do, and absolutely, I've got no questions about I've got no questions about him. Martin Odegaard, another player that was just signed by Arsenal, and you can see how much he means to Mikel Arteta, but you can also see how much he means to the Arsenal side. He's the schemer, he's the planner, he's everything. Whenever he's in that Arsenal side, you just see a different Arsenal, and Arsenal has a breath of life. And it's one thing you always need. Yes, it doesn't really take a lot of risks, and Mikel has got to work on on that. Odegaard needs to score more goals. Odegaard needs to create more chances. That is what that is what he's meant to do. As a creative player, as an attacking midfielder. But again, you can see that the little life that we have has been created by Martin Odegaard. Those are 3 out of 6 signings that you think have just made Arsenal a better place. And of course, signing number 4 is Albert Sam Lokonga. There's nothing I can say about this lad anymore. He's just good. He's just so good. The best central midfielder Arsenal have at the moment, the best defensive midfielder Arsenal have at the moment is Albert Lokonga. I just need us to trust him, play Albert Lokonga with Thomas Partey, even if we are playing a 4-3-3. Play Partey and Albert Lokonga in that midfield pivot. I still think it will give us a whole lot of opportunities, and he just gives Partey the ability to move forward, the ability to navigate and work in advanced places on the pitch, which actually works in our favor because whenever Partey goes forward, whenever Partey has that license to move freely up front, it gives you that it just gives you that permission to create more chances as a team, and that's what you want. Arsenal to create more chances, Arsenal to score more goals. So I think Albert Lokonga is such a big signing. So if you look at the signings that we have actually made, including the likes of Ben White, because I think Ben White has not actually come off very well. He has not actually been the defender that we expected him to be as yet, but I still think he's a massive upgrade to Rob Holding, and he's a massive upgrade to the likes of Callum Chambers. If you consider playing them at at centre back, and I think his partnership with Gabriel Magalhaes could turn out to be one of the best partnerships in English football, probably in the next 2 or 3 years, if they can keep it consistent, if they can keep on playing together. So I think Mikel Arteta's signings have just come off, and if we can keep them, keep the consistency, if we can keep the flame burning, it's gonna make a lot of sense. But again, now Arsenal need bigger signings. This is where this is the difference between Arsenal and Everton, Arsenal and Leicester City, Arsenal and Manchester United, Arsenal and Chelsea, Arsenal and Liverpool. And Edu spoke about it in his interview, and he said at times you just need to lay a background, you just need to lay a foundation, and we just spent 157 million pounds on a foundation, which is not good, which is not bad either, because I think 157 million pounds, you could get 3 players, you could get 2 players, and they're a massive upgrade to the Arsenal side. Again, the idea of laying down a foundation is not bad, because when you lay down a foundation like Arsenal did, you now have a centre back partnership, you have a decent goalkeeper, you have a right back, you have a left back. So that means in the next summer you're really not dealing with the problems of defending football and conceding goals, and you've just seen it in our last 2 games. We have actually kept 2 clean sheets, very convincingly. Again, the midfield now is a deficit, and where I would support Edu, if he can come off, if he can get now the big signings. If he can get in the big signings, I'll absolutely support him on his policy. Lay down a foundation, bring in 6 players, 1 in the midfield, 1 at attack, 1 in the defense, and 1 goalkeeper. And then in the coming transfer windows, what you do is get in a striker, 50 million or 60 million, getting a midfielder, getting a central midfielder for 45 million. I think it will make a lot of sense. In the coming summers, Arsenal will have to make only 1 or 2 signings, and that could actually make us better and better. But without big signings, without sensible signings, Arsenal is not going anywhere. At this is the point where now we need the likes of AOUAR, where now you need the likes of Ivan Toney, where now you need the likes of Owen Edward, where now you need the likes of Ruben Neves. You just need maturity now. You just need to strengthen the side, and if Edu can't do that, I still think Arsenal will do bigger things and achieve bigger things in the next 5 years. So that is my opinion about Arsenal signings and the bigger signings that Arsenal should make. Let me know in the comments below. Do you think at this point in time Arsenal still needs to make bigger signings, or you think we are actually good to go? Good morning, Arsenal. I'll speak to you later.